Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This one's going to be an absolute whirlwind of a video. We're going to be doing a chicken stock. What are you doing? Mate, it's my card reader. Welcome to the world of ADHD. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really sorry, but I actually made a stock not too long ago. I used all my scraps. And I was like, I should have filmed it. So here we are. We're going to make a chicken stock with no scraps. It's going to be fun. So whenever I think of a stock, you're going to go flavour and then colour. So if you, for example, have roasted your chicken, you've pulled off all of the meat and you want to make like a little broth, totally cool, but you're not going to get a deep, rich colour or flavour from that because all you're going to be doing is boiling bones. You're not going to be able to roast the bones and get some colour on, which we'll come back to later. So if you want a light chicken stock, then you'll be using lighter ingredients, so i.e. the chicken carcass that's been roasted, or you'll be using lighter ingredients that don't emit some colour. So onions, garlic, fennel, leeks, the lighter varieties of things will give you a lighter stock. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, they connect. A lighter flavoured stock. Now, let's go on to the next one, which I would say is your sort of like classic chicken colour. I mean, it's not a chicken colour, it's brown. This is gonna be sort of like a medium colour. You're gonna go with what we call a mirepoix. So a mirepoix is just like a mixture of veg, roughly chopped veg. This is where the French come at me because they're gonna be like, that's not the classic. Onions, oh, little tits. Got some extremely frozen celery here. Classics would be onion, celery, leeks, and garlic, and carrots. I think is what we would call a mirepoix. That is going to be your base notes of flavour. And then what you want to do is you want to roast your chicken carcass. So if you've got a whole chicken, you butcher it up, take away the thighs and the legs and all that kind of stuff. Then you roast the carcass, get it nice and caramelised, and that will give you brown, which is a nice medium colour. Going beyond that, you can't really take it too much darker, but you can start adding in other ingredients that aren't necessarily traditional, but do go well with chicken, like fennel, maybe some coriander seeds, okay? So that's sort of like the basis of a stock. Veg, base, carcass of colour, and then you have aromatics, which you can kind of enjoy in whichever world you want to be in. If, for example, you were just like, I just want to make a classic stock, just do a classic stock, right? If you were like going, hey, you know what, this end dish is going to be down the Asian route, okay? So you'll be making like a broth or a noodle soup or something like that. In here, why not stick a little bit of ginger in there? Why not stick it, your anise in there, your star anise? Why not stick some coriander seeds? You know, these kind of things is just like in the direction that you want to take it. This is very, I like talking, but this is very talky. We're making a stock. Colour here, veg, sweat it off, roast it off, whatever you want to do. Get colour, get no colour, it's your decision. Carcass, roast it up to make sure you get a nice bit of caramelisation, the old Maillard reaction, which gives you a nice bit of flavour. And then add in your aromatics, which could be herbs as well. So I've got a little bit of thyme here, which we're going to slide in. Right, first things first, I mean, I've done this so many times, but I think it's such a good thing. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, go get them, go check them out, because I've I've butchered a carcass before. Grab yourself a tray. Don't worry about lining it, okay? Because what you want to do is you want to get a bit of that crust, a bit of that burn, and then what that'll do is allow for some colour, some flavour to get involved in there, and you can deglaze it. Oh, fancy. Lovely stuff. Right, let's get a little tray for you. Save these for a rainy day. Chicken wings, like I said, just chuck a load on. Very simple at this stage. Give it a little bit of lube. What does lube do? It helps create some crisp. It helps the Maillard reaction happen. Nice bit of salt. Don't be shy, mum's dad weren't. Give it a little shovel, stick that in the oven. This is where you can just be an absolute animal. I love fennel. I think fennel's brilliant. Split it down, be safe, hand on top, split. Have a look at your leeks, see if they're muddy. Split them down, have a little peek. She's all right, don't worry about it. I would say to about 1 carcass, 2 carrots, 2 leeks, 1 fennel, 2 onions. And this celery has absolutely been battered. Look at it. Grim. Oh, food waste. So I've got a really big pot here. Now, the other thing I'm going to say, if you're making a stock and you're going to do this and you're like, I'm going to use all of my veg scraps, I'm going to use all of that. Just think, veg scraps taste of very, very little. See it all the time. People are like, I'm making this amazing stock. It'll taste like absolute poo on toast. Give yourself some sacrificial veg, which is actually going to taste of something, and then you'll have a tasty stock. So, again, nice bit of lube, just going to get it going. Big bit of salt, and just sweat this off. Here we go, bit of garlic. Where's my garlic? This is always good. This is why I never chuck away like all of these annoying to peel bits, because they're great for a stock. I'm just gonna split it down the middle, chuck all of that in. With your herbs, thyme, rosemary, anything you fancy. So I'm actually gonna chuck all of it in. But it's not a necessity. But a couple of peppercorns, just a couple, just so you know what a couple is. Like, it's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be quite a lot of stock, so roughly that. Gosh, we'll just sweat that off a little bit. We'll come back in a bit and I'll show you. It's stocking, isn't it? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, look. We're nowhere near yet, but look, don't be afraid of colour. See this? It looks cooked, it looks fine, but what you want to happen is it for all to start to catch. You see all these like nice little bits here? This is all the flavour which is going to go into the stock. So keep burning it, just keep cooking it, make some flavour while we're here. So all I've done is soften these down. There's not a great deal of colour on the veggies. I'm just sort of softening them down, keep cooking them down. A little bit of caramelisation is fine, but you don't really need to do too much to them. You just want to sort of like bring out a bit of that natural sweetness. Right, so I know this is teaching you how to suck eggs. All this vegetable with water is going to give you a veg stock. Now, with a veg stock, what's going to happen? 45 minutes. And you would have extracted all of the flavour. You don't need to continue cooking it. 45 minutes will be enough to do a veg stock. Now, this is the colour that you want to achieve on your chicken bones, okay? That is what all the flavour's gonna be. So you can take it even darker if you want to, but I don't really care. So you can just pick these bits off, see all these little sticky bits. Flavour Town, baby. Get this all off. Come on, mate, get off. Then all of this goodness on here, stick a little splosh of water on there, pop this back in the oven for a little bit, let's do this thing, put this on, bring it to the boil, and then we'll reduce the temperature. So bring it to the boil, then we're just gonna turn it down super low, we're just gonna let it sit there for 3, 4, 5 hours. As long as you've got really, but 2 to 3 hours is pretty spot on. See you in a bit.
Look, little bit of water, liquid gold.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? How's your day been? Mine's been great, cheers, thanks for asking. Here is my wonderful stock. Now, it's been going for about 4 and a bit hours now. What I did do is I did actually find some other bits of chicken in the freezer. So I defrosted those, roasted those, and they went in as well. It's one of the easiest and safest ways to do this, if you're gonna do this in scale, is to just scoop out all of this stuff. It's kind of done its bits and pieces. Now, if you're doing a stock like this and you're gonna be keeping it going for a very, very long time, especially like bone broths, fattier cuts like a beef or something like that, you would wanna skim the fat off the stock. Now, because this has only been going for like 4 hours, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in these containers, put it in the fridge, let it cool, and then that fat will just rise to the top and we can skim that little sister off. Is it gonna happen today? No, mate, because I've run out of time. Children. Now, because I'm a chef, I've got a chinois. It's a type of sieve. It's a very fine sieve. So, probably do, oh God, it's really hot, 2 containers. If you ever use one of these, tapping on the side helps it guzzle through. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let these chill. I'm here for another half an hour. As you can see, look, this is the fat here. That's probably gonna come up a bit more anyway, a little bit more. I'm gonna let them cool down a little bit, and then I'm gonna pop them in the fridge, and then they're just gonna chill overnight. Hello, my feral friends. As you can tell, Daddy's in a little bit of a rush. I haven't taken my rucksack off, got to shut that fridge. And as coincidence would have it, I've just been sent this. A whole frozen chicken from the people at Piper's Farm. Yeah, my wonderful friend Pip, she works there, and she just said, do you want to send you some stuff? And they've just sent me this. But on the topic of chicken, here is our chicken stock that I've just left in the fridge. As you can see, all of that fat has come to the surface. And all you have to do, just skim it off. You can put that in a little bowl. Now, before I end this video, my piece of advice, if you're doing this, 1, doing a big batch, congratulations. 2, you're probably not gonna have a fridge that's gonna be able to hold 2 of these. So, what I would say is cool it down as quickly as possible. Skim the fat, like you don't have to leave it overnight, you can leave it for a couple of hours. Skim the fat, set that to one side, put this back into a pan and rapidly boil so you reduce it down. Reducing is just gonna intensify the flavor, it's gonna give it less volume, then you can just store it. This you could reduce by 1/4, and then you would have yay much, and then you can just put it in a container, stick it in the freezer, in little cubes. It's like intense stock cubes. That's life, baby.
Reduce this down. Come on, mate. Rolling ball like that, that's what you want. You see me rolling. And as you go, have a little look at it. See this sort of like scumminess around here? That's just the fat. Get it? Put it in your little bowl. Come on, mate.
Here is my reduced chicken stock. Now, as you can see, it was all the way up to here, and I've reduced it by half, so you'll be able to see The absolute viscositation of this. Oh, yeah. Now here's a little tip for you. We've reduced it, which is obviously going to be quite strong and punchy, but now what you need to think about is, I always say put it into the freezer usable, right? So if I put that in and I filled that all the way up to the top, I'm only cooking for 1 or 2 people, I'm not going to need all of that. So all I'm going to do is just freeze it like this, and then when I defrost them, I know that I've got a decent amount for what I want to do. You could go smaller. I might even go, oh, this is what deli containers are all about. What if you did that? I should have just done that. What an let's do that. Create some washing. So ladies and gentlemen, ow, I hope this video was helpful. I think I'm going to do a follow-up video because I've got loads of ideas that I want to do with this. So like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to stick some like Asian flavours through this now, you know, you've got a beautiful little broth, just stick some noodles through it, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of chilli, flavour with some lemongrass, some lime leaves, maybe a little blob of some kind of curry paste, like a Thai green curry paste. Cooking's simple and cooking's rad. There you go. Like and subscribe. Love you all. I'm out of here. Let that cool before putting it in the freezer.